Welcome to another episode of Go Bros. I'm Philip.
And I'm Luke, and today we are going to review some kind of hockey game. Which one did you pick out for us today?
Yeah, so this is called Pickup League Hockey, and it's developed by a single developer who's also very active in the Go community. So
Nice.
another reason why everybody should go join the Go community Discord is you get a lot of great opportunities to kind of talk and interact with developers of some of these amazing apps and games.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to get in there. Again, we review social games, and to do that, you need more than one person. If you have not joined that Go community yet, you absolutely should.
Yeah, and so we're just going to put this on in just a moment, and we're going to play. It's called Pickup League Hockey, and think of it as just going out and playing hockey with friends. There's no referee, there's no bots, there's no it does keep track of score, and it does time like the periods, which I think period is the right term for hockey. Now, if you notice, neither Luke or I
We
are
talked
sitting
about
in
this
chairs.
before in our very first video. Neither of us are what you'd call very athletic or into sports. So
Yeah, ignore the fact that I'm
now.
wearing ignore the fact that I'm wearing a baseball shirt. I bought this, went to one Pirates game when we moved to Pittsburgh, and unfortunately haven't seen another sports game since then. So why don't we just go ahead and put the headsets on, because I could talk a lot about the game, but you really aren't going to get it until you kind of get it.
Okay, this will be my first time diving in, so I'm excited.
All right, as you can see, we have our headsets on, and we are standing, or yeah, I guess standing would be the word to use, in the middle of the ice skating rink. So Luke, what are your thoughts so far?
Well, one of the first things I point out when I play some of these types of games is that the scale seems off, but this one actually it seems about right. I feel like my eye level is where it should be in this type of environment. I gotta say, it's a little weird. Like this pickup league hockey, that's a nice looking logo. And then there's like this huge blue join Discord that looks like it has no design thought put into it at all. You said it was one developer, but it looks like it was designed by two different people's aesthetics. So I'm gonna say that. But so far, I mean, the environment's kind of cool.
Yeah, and if you notice, speaking of, it says right there in the news, check out our GoFundMe for improved graphics. So the big thing, and this hasn't been around for too long, and really a lot of folks in the Go community kind of helped test it. And I think the gameplay video, whenever you go to actually purchase the app, and it's a free app, it's actually the guys in the Go community kind of playing together and testing it out. So really just the main thing was just getting it to work, because it's kind of an interesting mechanic to kind of feel like you're actually ice skating and then hitting a puck, and you have a hockey stick and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of hit on a couple points real quick so that we can get in and try to play. If you notice, there's also a schedule they have up here, because with any new game, you want to make sure you have people playing it. So they put recommended times to come and join in on either the EU server or the NA server to have a chance to play with other people. Also, the Go community is a great place to look for people to play with. There's the controls, which actually really well-designed control photo. A lot of games don't do a great job of really showing you the controls. I think he's done a great job here showing that. If you notice, skate forward, top, skate backwards, back. You can do left and right to turn, or you can also just turn your body. And then there's trigger, actually will hold the rotation of your hockey stick, and so the end will stay at the same orientation, which kind of helps for a game like this.
Yeah,
You also have the ability and preferences.
The stick is moving as I rotate my hand, but the end, I don't know how hockey works. The flat part of the end of the stick is not turning with the stick itself, which is interesting.
And that's only if you hold the trigger. If you don't hold the trigger, it kind of moves like you would normally expect a hockey stick. It does look like there's a little bend when you swipe, but holding it, if you hold the trigger when doing it, you'll notice that it stays right where you wanted it, and that kind of makes it a lot easier to get accurate shots.
Interesting.
Now you also have the ability in settings to use the trigger for, I think, skating. If you would rather than use a touchpad for skating forward, I think you can use the trigger for skating for like your forward momentum. But I prefer to leave it on the touchpad, because then I get confused. Okay, I want to stop, so I need to do backward momentum. So I just like to have forward touchpad, back touchpad, and I'm good. They give a lot of suggestions. Basically, you just got to practice. So in this screen, if you actually press the forward button, and I'm going to be glancing up a lot to make sure I'm still in frame, you can just start skating, I think. Right? Can't I start skating? Why can't I start skating?
Okay, I have a really freaky guy as my goalie. Can I just tell you that?
Yeah, I had to close the menu. So you really want to tap slowly, and if you hold forward and keep turning, really, I guess swiping to turn, really clicking to turn's not too bad. I've never done that. I guess that might help me stay in frame a bit if I use the clip to turn, but I've never actually. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a little weird. Oh, crud.
Yeah, it does take a lot of practice, but ice skating in real life takes a lot of practice. Hockey
So
in
does
real life
shooting
takes a lot.
zombies in real life takes a lot of practice, but I seem to figure that one out pretty quick.
Yeah, that's just point and shoot. There's a lot of different things going on. Physics. Stopping your momentum, aiming the shot. So in this, if you notice, Luke and I aren't in the same arena right now. We're both by ourselves. So in this area, you can kind of practice. They have cones set up so you can kind of practice going through the cones. There's like a little target for you to shoot at as well. And when you're actually playing multiplayer, making sure I'm still in shot here. When you're actually playing multiplayer, no one plays the goalie. The goalie is controlled by a computer. So how about, Luke, we actually join a room together?
I don't even know where I'm
I
at
haven't actually tried it, but
okay.
So if you press
my
the back
camera.
button,
Hi, camera. Okay.
If you press the back button, it'll open up the multiplayer screen. And the easiest thing to do is to just join one of the pre-selected servers. But I guess you can host your own by setting up an IP. But Luke, let's just join NA East 1.
Green team.
Hello, player.
Hello, player.
Blue
It should
team.
show our names. There. Now it says Kubi Luffy. What color is my jersey? Am I green? Yeah, I see a green.
Okay, I'm going to mute you
So-
there. There we
so-
go. Yeah, you're green.
Oh, I can't even hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear you in game. My VoIP's been weird. I think I probably got to uninstall and reinstall this game because last time I
Body
played. One thing that I think would be cool would be now body checking somebody does make them stop in their path. But I think body checking might. I don't know. I don't play hockey. I think it'd be kind of cool if it kind of made you freeze. For
I
like
gotta
half a
say, I
second.
do not like the movement from the very get-go. Back and forward are the only options you have, and on the ice, you can skate at an angle. That is annoying the crud out
you
of
can
me.
skate an angle too. If you hold forward and just turn as you go, I mean, you can skate however you
Right,
want.
but I don't want to skate in the direction I'm looking. I want to skate in a different direction than I'm looking.
Oh, you want to be able to like strafe.
Say that again?
You want to be able to like strafe to where you can like skate sideways while looking somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of understand that.
That drastically impacts the game here.
I wonder if there's controller support in this. Ask the developer, because that would be interesting to know. But really, how else would you do this? And I think there's another developer out there developing a hockey game too, or they're porting one from like the Rift. But this is still a wicked fun when you're playing with friends, and the Go community regularly plays too. Look at this, I'm scoring on my own goal, I just realized. But if you look, there is a scoreboard.
It currently says 0.
I guess it's going down. Well, it's because neither one of us has scored. But this will get pretty intense, and it does. This is a big learning curve. I mean, you have to teach yourself to play in this. That's just one thing that, folks, when you go out and get this, and I recommend you should, especially if you're passionate about hockey, it's a big learning curve. But several of the guys in the Go community love hockey, and they are now pretty darn good at this. I'm pretty worthless, as you can see. I haven't played it a whole lot, but sometimes they even recommend, they just say, hey, just go in there and just practice. I think they call them slap shots. But look at this. I'm just having a hard enough time just.
I couldn't get to a slap shot because I couldn't stand in front of the puck. So for me, not being able to strafe and skate in a different direction that I'm not looking, to me that hurts the dynamic of the game.
Yeah, that's kind of. I do feel like maybe that is something that would make it a little bit easier for me, is if I didn't have to turn. If I could use the touchpad. Now, if I tap the left and right, it'll rotate me left and right. But if I had just kind of like the ability to, I'm not even looking at the camera. Where's my camera?
I think I actually would play this better sitting down. because I can't strafe, me standing up is actually making it hard for me because I can't. It's not going where I want it to go. But by sitting down, it takes that dynamic off of the gameplay.
I can kind of see that. And if there's controller support, that may make a whole lot more sense too. Although I can't imagine there's controller support, because how would you aim your shot and swing your hockey stick?
I think I've seen what I care to see.
Real quick before we leave it and get back into the studio, one thing I think that would make this a little bit easier for me would if I had if there was a way to, because you said you'd like to be able to skate anywhere you want while looking where you wanted to, is if I could hold trigger, and rather than it lock my angle of attack on my stick, if I could hold my trigger, and it would allow me then to use the touchpad and just keep my orientation. Like my body would stay pointed where it's at, but then I could use the touchpad to essentially, like if you look at this circle that Kubi Luffy's in right now, to where I could use the touchpad, picture this as a touchpad, and just circle my thumb around it, and then my whole body would just move in a circle by the way that I am swiping around the touchpad. But my body would still be oriented the same way. I could still turn my head different directions, but I think that would make it a lot more easier to control just skating around, in my opinion. I don't know if that made any sense at all.
I only got about half of that. But to me, the concept of the game is an interesting concept. The learning curve is so steep. To me, you might as well just buy an Xbox and play a real hockey game. It's not, to me, this is not friendly for the type of audience I suspect someone on the go would actually play.
I think that's pretty fair. This is definitely going to be somebody who is passionate about hockey and doesn't mind the learning curve. For somebody who
and I think
Go
that's
is kind of.
Well, let's get back in this. If I stay on this,
sure,
I'm gonna lose my.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. All right. As you can see, we got our headsets off, and Luke and I have probably similar opinions about this. I feel like Luke's are much, much stronger in one aspect than mine. So, Luke, why don't we start with you on your thoughts of this game?
Yeah, the Oculus Go. It's in the name, right? You pick it up and you go. Like it's a great idea for picking up your headset, playing a game, getting out of it. This one has, to me, there's a couple things that could be changed. I would actually play this game, but I gotta tell you right now, this one. I can't delete this off of my Go fast enough. And here's why. I can't use it. I wasn't able to get the puck even close to the goal because I feel like the movement isn't natural. And so therefore, it would require a huge learning curve. And to me, I feel like that's avoidable. This is an avoidable learning curve. You can take that learning curve off of the user and put that onto the developer. And so have the user be able to get in, and where they move their thumb on the trackpad is the direction they go. It's ice, right? So there's no forward and backward only. You can go at an angle. You can go left and right. And they do that all the time when they're on an ice rink. I need to be able to look one direction and skate in a different direction. And I've seen that happen in other games. This game doesn't have that. It's forward and backwards only, which was, to me, wasn't a learning curve. It was such a foreign way to move in a game that it lost off its appeal for me within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, one of those things about the Oculus Go is it's not really for people who are hardcore gamers. Like, there's going to be a huge number of people. I mean, people who enjoy hockey and are passionate about hockey. Like I said, whenever we were playing, they love this. There's people in the community who they love this. They're playing every week. There's people who've seen. We put on the big screen behind us, the matches they have on Sundays and Wednesdays, and they've been filling the servers up. And people are enjoying this game. Now, what type of people are enjoying this? Hockey lovers, and this is also, I feel like, going to appeal to people who enjoy games that you can't just pick up and be great at. People take a sense of there's a certain gamer out there who takes a sense of pride in playing something that initially is pretty difficult. And this is something like that. Now, I have enjoyed playing this, but I enjoyed it not so much from the gameplay aspect, but the social aspect of the game. Being in there with 5 other people from the Go community, chatting it up.
Yeah, I could definitely
commenting on how horrible I am.
Yeah, that makes sense. The social aspect, I think, would make this worthwhile in some degree. to me, it's such a huge. The movement piece is such a huge piece that I guess, and I'm not a hockey fan, but I have been ice skating before. It feels unnatural to the game of hockey. To me, that's equivalent of trying to play baseball, but instead of them throwing the ball, they roll it to you. It doesn't make any sense to me that the movement is so limited when this game has so much freedom on the ice.
Yeah, it's a good-looking game, especially for a one developer doing it. But yeah, that touchpad controls. And I'm holding up my touchpad here, my game controller. I'll try to zoom in. But if I could just hold the trigger, and then that locked my body going the direction I was going, or facing the direction I want, and then just moving my thumb around, and my thumb is me, and I'm moving myself around the ice. I could dig that. I think that could be really sweet, because then I could look behind me to the side, but I'm still moving how I want to move while I'm holding the trigger and doing the touchpad. Then when I let go of the trigger, then I'm moving like I normally would, and I can still swing and hit.
Yeah, I think the issue on this game was the Go is already limited, right? It's 3 degrees of freedom, and I feel like we have 3 degrees of freedom, and this guy just cut off one of our legs for the game. To me, it just seems like we've lost a degree of freedom in a game in a console that already was limited to begin with. So yeah, if I would happily revisit this if the movement piece can be fixed. But for me, if those guys who want to have that sense of pride and saying, "Hey, I learned a game that was hard to do," they can have this. That is not my type of game. I ain't got time to play games. I play at most 15 minutes once a week. So I need to be able to pick up the Go and have a good time and call it good.
So this is going to be one of those great episodes where, folks, it's important for you to comment, because
who's right?
Luke and I don't represent. We don't represent the vast number, and Luke and I have slightly differing opinions, but it's kind of the same. He just feels much more strongly about the perspective of the controls and it not being easy to jump in. So tell us in comments what you feel about us. Feel free to tell us that you guys are wrong. This is amazing. But try it out for one, okay?
Yeah,
go check out the app. It's free, so there's no reason for you to not go try it out, play around with it, give it, at least an hour of playtime. Doesn't need to be all at once, and then go write a review on the store and let the developer know how you like. Or even better yet, come to the Go community, jump into the PULH. It might say Pickup League Hockey channel in the Go community, and just talk to the developer and say, "Hey, this is what I love. I love the app. Here's what I would love to see improved, and I would play it a whole lot more." Because the developers love that sort of thing. So check out the community, get in there and talk to them. But Luke, we already know your answer. You already said you couldn't delete this fast enough.
That's right.
I'm still going to keep it. Because I love whenever I can to jump in with the Go community, and they're doing this every Sunday and Wednesday. So I love when I'm available to jump in Sundays and Wednesdays, sometimes twice, because they have a separate time for EU and NA, and I'm usually available at either one of those times. So I'll jump in with either one. So I'll be keeping it, but again, this is not a go-to game for me at all, but it's free. Everyone check it out.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned, leave comments below. Let us know what you think. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video, thumbs down if you don't like the video. Be sure to subscribe so that you can see all of our latest and greatest videos, and ring that bell so you can be notified when one pops in your feed.
We got all sorts of links in the description of this video, but gobros.tv will take you to our Patreon page, where it's not just about getting your money. We're putting other content out there. Some of it is exclusive for patrons, but a lot of it is just stuff that's just not appropriate for the YouTube channel itself, like blog posts and pictures and, hey, check out this high score. And so we encourage you to go check that out, and feel free to comment on it. Because we really appreciate your feedback. Yep. But if you do want to throw us $1, we love that too, because that helps us go out and get some apps that aren't free, like this one, that we can do some more reviews for. All right, well, I guess that wraps up this episode of Go Bros. I'm Philip.
And I'm Luke, and we will see you guys in the next video.